Hello, Nicole. Hello.
I still got distracted. You know how? With the short intro, I was counting down from 5. And I was like, 5, 4, and I still distracted myself. Hello, everybody. Hello, Eric. How are you today?
I am doing so wonderfully wonderful. I cannot wait for this show. I know we want to jump right into it, but first, let me let everyone know wherever you guys are watching this show, make sure that you follow, like, subscribe, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, YouNow, website, every of those places. Your thumbs up, subscribing, hitting bells on YouTube, of course, your comments below. We do read them all, are such great ways to help support the shows, as is sharing. So make sure that you share now. Let everybody know that we are live on whatever platform you are watching on, or when you make it to the end of the show, share it then. Maybe you know a relative or a Big Brother fan that might like it. Maybe, you know, a Facebook group or such sort. So make sure you do that. And if you're like, look, Eric, we just stumbled upon this right now. How do we find all those places you are? Head over to hellofriendspod.com. Click on that Find Us Live page. You'll find all Nicole's socials, my socials, the shows, our schedule, and more. And I'm going to steal it from you, Nicole. If you're listening on your favorite podcast provider, make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a nice review. Can I just say one thing before we get into it?
Or
We were like a little bit distracted before the show started because Eric is stupid and didn't realize something. Okay.
do you have on a green shirt?
Don't wear a green shirt, everyone. Don't wear a green shirt in front of a green screen. You know who you thought should have known that? Me. Anyway, Nicole, I'm ready for you to introduce.
Okay, thank you for lowering your zipper and showing us all your balls. On that note, our friends, we have a very exciting episode today. Obviously, this episode of Big Brother Canada was super intense. We have to jump right into it. So many intricacies. So we have an amazing guest who is a huge friend of the show, has done so much with us for charity and everything. It is the wonderful, amazing VANESSA CLEMENTS from last season of Big Brother.
Vanessa, hello.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good. Because I don't watch the live feeds, my mind is still currently being blown right now.
Right.
That was a shock. So yeah, no, I'm doing good though. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Same. It's interesting because Eric obviously watches the live feeds. I keep up with them on Twitter, but I don't watch them religiously. So I too, although I knew it was coming, I'm still like, oh wow, that's how it looked, that's how it sounded. Damn, they implemented it well.
Yeah, like really, it wasn't just the edit trying to lead me on. Like it actually happened. What?
And I mean, that is what I am here for, because as amazing as that edit is, they left out a lot as well, I think, of the little idiosyncrasies. and took away a lot of credit, I feel, from Tera, but we will get into all of that. Obviously, it was Kiefer's plan, but yeah, we have so much to get into on this episode. I am so excited to get into it, so let's get into it.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a side question first for Vanessa,
Oh.
which is, did you ever watch the live feeds, and since being on it now don't, or were you never really like a live feed watcher?
Honestly, I wish I had the time, but I
Okay.
don't. And then this year I thought I was tricking myself. I was like, oh, I'm totally watching the live feeds this year. No. No. And I honestly like when I watch the episode and being surprised. I just still
Yeah.
love that.
I get that. I think like the fan in me just wants to watch the episode.
I do
Yeah.
have to say, if there is a positive that has come out of COVID, it would definitely be that I think it is made, whether people will admit it or not, the show's way more fun to watch, because when there was live audiences and all of these things, everything was always spoiled. So we always knew what was going to happen well before the episode even aired on a Thursday. It took a lot of the excitement and suspense out of the show. So I kind of love that we don't really know a lot of things. But you know what we do know, Nicole? Because now I have to sidetrack for 1 second too. Because I forgot to say that tomorrow joining us
Yes.
on the show will be the one, the only Ryan Ballantyne. So he will be talking about the fake double eviction. However, that's not my surprise.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a surprise.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Nicole doesn't even know this. I have crushes every season. Obviously, on your season, Vanessa, it was my boyfriend Michael. However, there was someone before Michael who messaged me earlier today and said, "Oh my God, I need to join you and Nicole on Monday." And I said, "Yes, Jesse. Of course you can join Nicole and I on Monday."
What?
So, late breaking news, Jesse with glasses and without, will be joining us on Monday. I know people like to know who's coming up on the show, so I wanted to make sure I put that in.
Very well done. Wow, good to know. I'm excited.
Surprise.
We have such amazing shows
I know.
now and coming up. It's good.
Let's just get into it.
Okay, so getting into this episode, I don't even know where to start. And usually I start right at the top, but I have so much I want to get into. But I guess we will start at the top, which is them in the beginning of the episode saying we have a Tera and a Braden and a Kiefer coming together. We see as the episode goes on. We also have Ty coming together with them. So I think I kind of want to start with how blown away I am by Ty, who, I don't know, maybe always seemed like he was kind of like, la, 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 I'm with this trio, just following along. And now it's like, ba-bam, making a move, taking names. He jumped ship at the exact right time. I don't know. I'm impressed.
This is the Ty I have been waiting for. He's blown, like the last like 3 episodes, I'm like, every time he speaks, I'm like, yes. Yes. He's impressing me. And now I wish he would have won that veto too and not used it. That would have been really cool. I was hoping that he would have pulled that out, but I'm loving him. Yeah.
I have to say, I don't know what Ty would have done. I want to believe, or I think we'll find out tomorrow. Obviously, where Ty's vote lies will let us know if he would have used that veto or not used the veto. I want to believe he would not have used the veto. But there is part of me that thinks it also would have forced, it would have kept his safety, forced a Braden up on the block, and then who knows? But I don't know. I don't know what really would have happened. We don't need to talk about it, but I'm just saying it would have been interesting to see. But I'm not that convinced it would have been a slam dunk yet.
But what are we thinking with tomorrow? Do we think Ty's going to go through with it? Do we think maybe Ty's going to have conversations with Jen and be like, oh, damn, I have to keep him? Or you think he's just going to shoot the shot?
Well, I will just say this. I will just say, as per the live feeds, he's gonna do it, but him and Kiefer have been brilliant in how they have gone about it.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been where they have said to Jed, we're voting you out. They keep saying to Jed, like, obviously we're weighing, we had to weigh both options.
Mm.
We're gonna be on your side, but ultimately it's whatever Beth is gonna want. So, like, we're worried about Beth's vote. They keep putting it individually on Beth on the live feeds, knowing they're voting him out regardless. But they put it on Beth every single time.
It's beautiful. The gameplay. Oh, it's all so thought out. And that's I do have to credit Kiefer with coming up with the plan initially. Like that guy at what was it at 4 a.m. or something, just sitting there in bed, like, wait, what if we can convince him to use it on her? And then he just starts with it. Like it is impressive. You're saying that maybe Tera ran with it a bit more than it was shown, which is interesting to hear.
It's not that she ran with it more than it was shown. It's just I hate all Big Brothers across the board. I feel like the female players' games are always devalued to the men. And yes, 100% this was Kiefer's idea and Kiefer came up with it, but Tera had to sell it. If Tera did not convince, Jedson, convince Beth, this never would have happened. And obviously, yes, they showed it, but they very clearly made it seem like this is the mastermind working of Kiefer, and without him it wouldn't have happened. And I think it involved everybody, is where I say the nuances in there came into play that they didn't show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it would not have worked out every single person playing their individual part. Beth as well, like Tyshawn, if he wouldn't have came to like it worked out so good though. I can't believe it.
I think what freaked me out the most was like the conversation between Tera and Beth, and I guess it has to go with like Tera's acting skills, but also Beth's like ego, where Beth wasn't like, is this the case? Beth was just like, she wants me, she's keeping me, this is all gonna work. Like she just ran with it so convincingly that I was like, really, Beth? I thought Beth would kind of think it through and go, wait a minute, what's going on here? And I guess maybe she's more concerned about herself than anybody else, obviously, but I don't know, just even the conversation between Tera and Beth, I don't know, it was weird.
It was so fascinating to watch it all play out because, I mean, again, so for example, what they did not focus on at all, because I'm assuming that this was already confusing to viewers watching, because a lot of the comments, I even saw Liza just say it, where she was like, God, Jed, you're so, it's such a stupid move. The votes are the same. Why would you take yourself off? Think about it. It doesn't make sense. It's the same people voting. Why would you do it? But it was never about the votes. It was about getting Brayden on the block. And the only way Tera, per the plan, would put Brayden on the block was next to Jed. And then that involved things, like Brayden having to act like he didn't know about it and being upset, or Kiefer really stroked Jed's ego, before this all happened with like, you're the greatest of all time. They're gonna build statues to you if you do this. Like, he laid it on and played to Jed's ego so much. Like, future generations of this show will talk to you. They're gonna rename it Jed's Brother going forward.
Like, whenever he started saying, like, this is a GOAT move, I'm like, wait, what makes you think that?
Yeah.
Come up with that. Like, my problem with Jedson is, like, every time he wins, I yawn. Not this time. This was good.
It's very true. Very.
Yeah.
And I think, people equate it to, Vanessa, I know you watch BBUS, correct? I don't know if you watched it since like the beginning or.
Essentially, yeah. I mean,
Lawan.
yeah.
Yeah. So like you think about like Marcellus, did something very, very similar. Then Lawan did something very, very similar. And one thing that I think is so intriguing is, especially newcomers are very like, oh, I would never do that. How could you be so dumb? How could you think that way? But it's so different when you're in it. And he has the personality type, Jed, where you stroke his ego enough. It's like, I'm going to do it. Meanwhile, if he was a viewer sitting at home, he probably wouldn't have done it. So it's weird how that house just, oh my,
Well,
I cannot.
here's the thing, though. If you think about it, part of me does feel bad for Jed
Oh, of course.
because it's not that far-fetched. It's not like Jed is putting his game in Braden's hands or he's putting it in Tera's hands to break a tie. In his mind, he's putting his game in the two people's hands he's been with since day one who have never gone against each other. So like I know that we all want to make fun of Jed and believe me, I do too, because I loved it and was laughing the whole time. But I also do understand his perspective in the game of these are my people. If I can't trust them, then that's it. I'm out.
Like, it does make sense, I guess, on some level, but
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, don't ever do that in Big Brother. You don't ever give up your game for someone you just met is
Exactly.
ultimately why we all realize it's a boneheaded move. And I think as fans, we love watching people that are like, haha, we're the best, we're getting them. I can't believe they're so stupid, and not realize that, oh God, it's you guys looking real bad.
Yeah, it's you.
You got.
I mean, on that note, with this episode like making me very impressed with most of them, Vanessa, how have you felt about the season as a whole? Like the cast, the people that have already been evicted, pre-jurors, jurors.
blown away, guys. Like, I mean, okay, so at first it was plain old tripping me out, the fact that the house was almost the exact same, that it was a mine, and I was like, no, I wanted it different. I don't want it to look the same. But now I like it. Now I'm okay with it. I mean, the cast has been amazing. The double eviction broke my heart, though. Victoria and Rohan. I really wish that would have been the fake double eviction, and they could have battled it out. How epic would have that been? But anyway, it's been great. It's. I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
First of all, I can't stand that they keep calling this a fake double. It's not a fake double. It's a real double. It's just at the end of that real double, two people are battling to come back. It's real. That was such like poor branding. But that being said, who do you hope then, like what would be the most entertaining for you to see, Vanessa? Who do you hope Jed is battling tomorrow?
Assuming
to
it's
get back. It's Jed.
Guys, like if it's so that's the thing. If Jed goes home, he like I mean he's gonna be in that, and then you never know. It might be someone. If Beth is on the outs, so if Jed goes home, that means Beth is on the outs. That means the rest of them are against Beth. So the odds that she wins are So I'm assuming that one of them are gonna win, and maybe it's gonna be a Beth and Jedson duke out, which I want to see.
And which one do you want to see win it and come back?
Beth.
Okay.
I want Beth to win it. Yeah, I'm over Jedson.
Yeah. Women supporting women. I think we need to see that more. I'll say that for myself.
Believe me, it was satisfying seeing her go up on the block after scrambling so hardcore and everything. Like, yeah. I like seeing her go through it and stuff and everything, but I am kind of rooting for the girl in a way too. I feel like she's very smart. I feel like she's a good gamer. I think if you guys know Sarah Hanlon from BBCAN9, she kind of gives me Sarah vibes in a way, but she's very different from Sarah, but she's kind of just a bit cuckoo in that way,
Oh, I feel like that's an insult to Sarah. Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't.
She said in a different way, similar but different.
Only because people don't really care for Beth is why I say that, and people like love, Sarah Hamlin. But I will, it is hard because honestly, until you just said that, I was always like, I want Jed to come back. I want Jed to come back because I want to watch all the drama. But then now that I think about it, Beth would probably be more drama because I feel like, Jedson would be upset for like probably less than a day and then he'd be over it because what other choice does he have? Whereas I think Beth would be more like, I think she would give us more fun feeds.
I think so too.
Yeah, I
And
kind of want Beth.
I'm gonna dare say this, which is again me stereotyping, but I feel like if Jed comes back, maybe the Teras and the Bradens don't have the best shot of beating him in a comp or beating him in final two. Whereas Beth comes back, I think they have a better chance of beating her. I think they have a better chance of making final two. If you're sitting next to Jed, you could lose. You sit next to Beth, she kind of rubbed some people the wrong way. You might have a better chance. So that's why I'm like, you know what? For those remaining, a Beth return maybe wouldn't be the worst.
It would not be. And well, here's what's kind of scary though. As of the live feeds today, and this is the only part that frustrates me when it comes to Kiefer. I get he is playing this game brilliantly. I don't really like people that like just go to the current HOH, do all the things, get, whatever, and then next week they move to the other people and blah blah. That is annoying to me a little bit. So there's that. However, I got a newsflash for you. Who do you think Ty and Kiefer, if they won HOH, who do you think they're putting on the block? Ty or Kiefer? In the double. If they win the double, who do you think their noms will be?
You go first, Vanessa.
Okay, so who do I think Ty would put up?
Let's say Jed is gone now. So Ty or Kiefer.
Him claiming, allegiance to that group of people. So then I would assume he would put up Beth and Brayden. That would be my guess.
Nicole?
I would say if him and Kiefer already are talking, so they kind of have a plan. You bring up people that are closer. Nobody's really close to Beth, so Tera and Brayden.
Beth and Tera.
We're both wrong.
I am surprised that they're willing. I am surprised they're willing to go against Tera so quickly. So then that makes me feel like everything they're saying to Tera is not necessarily true, which then makes me have to go, so then am I supposed to believe that you're going to vote out Jed? That's why I really needed these DRs to know where they're gonna go. I do now, based on their DRs, feel they're definitely voting out Jed. They're gonna vote out Jed.
That goes back to my original question. Do you think so, Vanessa? Do you think Ty goes through with it? Do you think Kiefer goes through with it tomorrow?
I do.
No.
Oh, Kiefer's doing it. Kiefer 100% is doing it. Because, again, another thing, I mean, maybe it'll be in tomorrow's episode that they're going to focus on is they have not told Jedson at all. And we saw all through this game, those three and Kiefer always gave the information to each other. Ty and Kiefer have kept this, everyone has kept the whole entire plan secret from those two this entire week. So based on that alone, I don't think they're voting Jedson out, or they would have told him.
Say that again, Vanessa.
So Beth does not know as well. She is completely in the dark up until this point.
Yep.
So that's like a double doozy.
Again, they play Beth. Like if Beth tries to have any conversation with them, they're both just like, "What do you want to do, Beth?" They're like, will, because they're trying to put it on her so hard. They want to be able to say to Jed, Beth convinced us to do it, so that if Beth makes it to the end of the game with one of them, they can hopefully steal Jed's vote from her, basically, in my opinion.
Wow.
Wouldn't that come down to whether Jed respects game or is bitter? Because that's them banking that Jed would be bitter and be like, no, 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 Beth, you don't get my vote. What if Jed goes, wow, that was a boss move, her getting me out, and then he votes for Beth? So that could backfire.
It
You know,
could. It could backfire 100%.
Vanessa, do you think we're going to have a bitter jury, knowing who's in there so far, like a Victoria, a Ro, a Tina? Like, do we think we have like bitter boots or not yet?
There might be, actually. There might be some bitter ones. You
Who?
never know. I mean, push comes to shove, like, I think there's just some people that if they're in the final two, they're winning. Like, I really think that no matter what, if Kiefer's in the final two, he will win this game. What do you
And
guys
now
think? No.
I'll just say, breaking news. I see Rafe in the chat room is saying, on the feeds right now, Jed and Kiefer are talking, and Becca's saying the plan is officially now to tell Jed tonight.
Oh, shit.
So don't expect, you might want to go run over to the feeds. We know how BBCAN does, everyone. Those feeds will be down. We won't be allowed to watch those conversations. They always like to cut them off and not let us watch, like, the thing we've been waiting for the whole time.
So they're gonna preface it. Well, I guess I can't. As a viewer, I want to see the blind side. I want to see the haha. But as someone who lived it, I get it. I used to tell people in advance, like, listen, you probably don't have my vote. So I get that. I get when it's like the personal leaks through, and you don't want the person to look stupid on TV, unless you want them to.
Yeah.
Depends how close you are to them.
At this point, these people are very close. Like, I feel like they're probably feeling for the guy. They're probably like, oh, damn, we got him so hard.
Yeah.
Let's at least make sure the guy's well dressed and ready.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
And another thing that they've been saying a lot as well is like he's gonna be fun. Like they'll keep saying, and I think it's probably one of the things they're gonna tell him tonight, which is you're obviously gonna come back for an All Stars. We could see you on MTV's The Challenge. Like
Yeah.
this show highlighted what a great competitor and gamer you are. Like this isn't the end for you, it's just the beginning. They're gonna do that whole speech to him.
And sure enough, he's going to be able to compete to come back. And what an amazing story he will have if he then does. So, I mean, that's going to be cool because then are him and Ty going to go at it? Do you think they'll make up? Like, do you guys think if Jed comes back that they will make up?
I think if Jed comes back, he would be the least upset with Tera. And obviously Braden, because I think, Braden sitting next to him, he can't knock him for, campaigning. He already knew Tera, nominated him, so that's not a big shock. I think the initial, oh my God, I'm pissed, is going to be at the people that voted him out. So regardless who else is evicted, he's going to be most pissed at a Kiefer, Ty, and Beth. And I almost see that as I'm coming after them first because they screwed me, because it's kind of like the devil you know versus the devil you don't. And like he knew Tera and Braden weren't on his side, but now when it's like at two brute, like when someone like gets you, it's like I'm more angry with you. So I think if he comes back, he's gonna be so mad at Ty and Kiefer, because I'm assuming Beth is going. Ty and Kiefer, I think him and Ty are close enough where it'll be like, no, it's okay. I think he's gonna be like, Kiefer, you did this, and I think we're gonna see a lot of that duking out of Jed and Keith, in my opinion.
I'm gonna go with I hope he plays off his emotion, and based that he's done this move off of ego, I think he will go off of emotion. However, there's only 2 weeks left of this game.
Yeah.
I think his anger is gonna be directed at who is not HOH. That's who his
But
anger is going to be directed at. And I agree. Ultimately, it will be at the people who voted, unless one of those two people are HOH. Then he's going to be all, I understand you had to do it for game. I get it. Yeah. So it's going to matter who's HOH. I actually saw people in chat saying this, and I want to ask it to both of you as people who have played the game. Jed feels like this would have been the most epic thing ever. He takes Beth, off the block. He saves her. And, let's say it worked out great. He stays. Would that, if you were in this jury voting for a winner, would you have thought to yourself, wow, you risking your game for someone is something that makes me look at you as a good player? Like, he thinks that would have made the jury members go, wow, you have our vote because you used it on Beth and gave away your safety. Would that have meant that to you in a game like this if you were voting?
go ahead, Vanessa.
No, because like I said, whenever he was like, "Yeah, this is a goat move," I was like, "Is it? Is it really impressive for you?" Like, I don't know. It kind of sounds dumb, man. No matter how you spin it, to me.
That's how I feel. I feel like if I was on the jury, I would see it more like as somebody. Yes, I do let the personal through, and I do have empathy in that house. But I do respect the people that don't play emotionally. I think it's very, very impressive. I would view that almost like an emotional. I saved my girl on a personal level because she's my buddy. Like I wouldn't view that as a game move. I would be like, oh wait, so you risked your own game because of a personal relationship and you're calling yourself the GOAT. Like I would find it more impressive if he saved himself with his veto and somehow figured out a way to then keep Beth safe. That would mean more to me.
How much does the title of winning this game mean to you? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, 100. Well, I think in general, I think all Canada seasons, you guys all play this game in a way that I almost wish Big Brother US would. Like, it never seems personal. If there would have been this much flipping and flopping and backstabbing, flipping of alliances from day one and voting and out and da-da-da, they would have had to have the feeds off because people would have been like murdering each other in a BBUS house with all of this betrayal. And I feel like Canadian players in general across the board are just like, I respect that move. Good game. I get it. It's
I
a
don't
game
think
move.
so.
Way to go.
I'll let a Canadian answer. Do you think so? Tell me.
We're watching it.
like that is so true. It's so
Really?
true, and I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And we are held up to a pretty high. Like I don't want to say we're held up to a higher standard or anything, but I do feel like we are like. I mean, I said jokes in there and got called in the diary room, and they were like, Vanessa, don't tell those kinds of jokes in here. It was just an innocent, like, maybe just a blonde joke that maybe just it was not appropriate still, though, even though I'm a blonde. Like, it was just, but yeah, so the fact that there's that much craziness going on in there, I mean, there in the BBUS, it'd be pretty crazy.
Be a bloodbath.
No. Oh, no. I'm defending my United States of America. Listen for a second. I will say, on my season, the first season, 21, I felt as though, people are not going to agree with me, but I felt as though we would often say, any of the HOHs, it was like, I respect you as a person. I respect you. This is game. And I always say when people said, why do you think that was the precedent? Regardless of Grateful Eight, regardless of all that bull crap, when Chrissy was the first HOH, she would do like the circles and we would like, and she'd be like, all right, bring it in. Let's good energy, good vibes. This is a game, not personal. And I feel like we carried that out from day one to finale, where we would at least, I don't know what people were saying in the DR, but we would always say, this is game, not personal. This is game, not personal. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think when season ended, people were able to see it for what it was and be like, okay, like think about it. I evicted Christy and she was like, yeah, good game. So I'm going to defend certain people. And I think US is seen a lot more scummy than it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna hear what you're saying. I'm gonna raise you Taco Tuesday. with a sprinkle of racism and a little dash of a door being slammed in your face and people making fun of you. Things you're not going to see on BB Canada. Now,
But how did I react to that? I reacted by saying, it's a game. Let's move forward. Like, I didn't react with like,
my
you know,
point is it happens and it doesn't happen in BB Canada.
yes, it did. They were all in the kitchen making fun of Tera, saying, how did she get here?
Oh, God.
She doesn't deserve to win. How is that any different?
That was not making fun. That was just like game talk. Don't you agree that was game talk, Vanessa? I don't feel that was horrifically mean. Again, we remember the things that happened on your season, Vanessa.
Let
So,
her
you
speak.
know, if you're weighing those,
Exactly.
like...
Go ahead.
Goodness. No, yeah, no, I in terms of Tara, I mean, I know I do hear she does complain a little bit. So, you know, I wonder if that's why they just say those kinds of things, because it does get annoying in there, you know?
Mhm.
So I don't know, but I mean, never is it justified, but in there, I mean, when you're watched 24/7, you're gonna be caught saying bad things. We all do here and there.
I can rest my case, and I always will rest my case on the one scene that I to get Nicole to watch, but I still am convinced she didn't, from, you know, Adam Pike season with Anthony and Mark, and they're screaming at each other like top of the stairs, bottom of the stairs. We think this is the moment. There's going to be a fist fight between Anthony and Adam, and they go like running at each other and embrace. This is the most Canadian shit I've ever seen. Thought we were going to have a fight. Now they're like hugging and like, I love you, bro. Love you. You're the best.
But again, equate it to US. Think about like the big fight between Mickey and Tommy. And what did Tommy say when he was voted out? He was like, "You got me, you son of a bitch," and that was it. He didn't flip out. He didn't, like I think it's on both ends of the spectrum. I think it can't be generalized as US as this and Canada as that. We've seen some negative comments on BBCAN. We've seen a lot of negative on BBUS. We've seen positive on BBUS. We've seen positive BBCAN. We've seen the Lawans on BBUS, and we have seen the Jeds on BBCAN. So I think it's both.
I think you should put a poll out on your Twitter.
No.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting. That would be
exactly. You should put a poll out and go, which casts are more trashy, BBUS or BBCAN? And I'll even let you hedge your bet by putting it on your Twitter. And I bet you get BBUS.
You know what I will say is BBUS just has way more content. You guys got, what, 22 seasons? Wait till we have 22 seasons.
Just wait.
We're gonna have some crazies come out. Don't worry.
Yeah, we got really bad about 15. So
yeah,
got a couple of years to go.
Yeah, you got a little bit.
No, but speaking of polls and asking for things, we did ask the fans and your fans, Vanessa, to leave you questions, and we do have a couple. So from Cookies Veto on Instagram, they say, if you were in the house this season, Vanessa, who would you be aligned with? Love you, bestie. That's what they said.
Hi, Maddie. Oh my goodness. Okay. Who would I be aligned with? I do. I initially want to say someone like Victoria, but I think she was going to try to play a solo game no matter what. So maybe I don't know. I don't know if I would have been able to get in with her. Let me see. I don't know if I would have gone along with Beth.
Really?
I don't even want to say. I just think initially. But you know who someone else, and then I'm going to completely twist this. Someone else who I've spoken with a bit since she's gotten out of the house is Miss Julie Vu herself. And I actually think that I actually think I actually would have loved to play the game with someone like her. I definitely think she got the short end, and she would have been such a gamer. I think she would have been very entertaining, and we definitely didn't get to see enough of her. So, yeah.
Agreed.
Yes, we did not get to see enough of her at all. Okay, go ahead, Nicole. Do you have another question?
Well, you said there was an other side of it. What was the other side of it?
Oh, I was saying, yeah, Beth and Julie Vu.
Oh, like now and pre-juror. Gotcha.
Those people. Yeah.
What about males? Do you think it would have worked with any specific males, or you're not sure?
I think I would have vibed with Kiefer, and
Yeah.
but then I keep saying two people that they didn't get along. I want to say Kiefer and Rohan, but they didn't vibe. So I don't know. But those are the two guys that I think I would have got along with the most. I really liked Rohan right from the beginning. I thought, I was like, ooh, this guy's gonna be sly and cool and just really just go through the game. And Kiefer, I love that guy. I just do.
Well, and then we have a question
Well,
on this note, because you never know what's coming. Maddie Leroy on Instagram says, Vanessa, are you coming back for season 10?
oh, gee. Holy jumpins', I freaking hope so. I have no idea. I mean, people are like, the rumor is that season 10 might be a returning season. Here's hoping. I mean, if so, it would be an absolute dream come true again. But if not, my experience was amazing, even as it was. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it is going. I honestly think that, normally I feel when they do an all-stars or a returning play, like an all returning player cast, I always feel like they try and pick two, at least obviously one from each season, but most of the time it's two from each season. Part of me feels like your season should get 3 or even 4, but I don't think they're going to do that because it would tip the voting too much in your favor to stick together. But I'm hoping that they consider your cast, and do something nice for them.
Agreed.
Yeah. Here's hoping we have a few more names in the basket, but I agree with you. What if we, I get it. What if we all teamed up and, yeah,
Right.
that totally makes sense.
Now,
and I mean, past, I mean, we had some crazy gamers, so they have a hard choice ahead of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, I need you because, I feel Nicole defends Kiefer a lot for whatever reason. Maybe I'm going to say for whatever reason. Sometimes people that watch these shows are not the biggest Kiefer fan. How can we sell them on being a Kiefer fan? What is it that you're loving about Kiefer's game, Vanessa?
I just do have to say it's the ideas he's coming up with. It's the fact that Jedson went as far as to backdoor the guy, but yet he still didn't go home. Like, how? I don't know if too many people pull that off other than Kiefer. I really don't.
And I mean, here's the thing. You don't have to like Kiefer, but I think we can all agree it would not be as exciting of a season without the things that he's put into motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, don't get me wrong. Like, Kiefer has made mistakes in this game. Like, whenever he told them that he knew that Victoria was the invisible head of household, like, dude, no, you die in that game with that secret, right? Like, there's definitely times where I'm like, does he have a gamer's mind or not? But then he's like, then he blows me away the next episode. So I don't know. I'm up and down with Kiefer a lot too, but I am a fan.
I think, here I go. You're gonna get me started on Kiefer. I have had moments with him because I'm like, oh, social game, and then I have moments where I'm like, ooh, social game, no. But I think just how can I word it? Like how things are lined up with him, like back to back. Like, he literally rose from the ashes, which is a testament to his social game, because obviously there's been plenty of people who have cried and pleaded and pitched and they didn't stay. So it's a testament to him as a person and his personal game that he stayed. And then week later came up with this plan without guilt, without, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I owe them. No, he's been like, game, yeah, they saved me, but now it's time to take a shot. And I think just that turnaround, that's the word for it, that turnaround, that to me is impressive, to have that kind of a mind where you're able to, now I need this, now I need that. And I don't know. It's very impressive.
He is a game bot.
Yeah.
He is. He definitely is a game bot. Well, there's two other hot topics which, in tie into this episode, but that people are saying get Vanessa to weigh in on. Another thing that we saw a lot of this season, when like Nicole just said, how was Kiefer able to do that? A huge thing that we saw on, I believe we saw on the show, that turned the tide for Jedson keeping Kiefer was him swearing on his family, swearing on his kids. We saw tonight that the thing that Jed needed to believe it and do it was Tera swearing on her children and him calling them by name. Where do you stand, Vanessa, on swearing on your family in Big Brother? Will you do it or won't you?
Okay. Okay. So during my season, Kyle was swearing on his kids like week 1. And I was like, dude, slow it down. Because he was lying and swearing on his kids. And I'm like, dude, like, from where do you go from here? Like, what do you do in week 7 when you want people to believe you? What do you got to swear on? Like, you know what I mean? Don't use up the kids just yet, man.
See the arsenal.
Yeah. Just swear on the goldfish for now. But for them at this point, for them to pull off this move, I clap my hands to you. Their family knows they love them. If you gotta do it, you gotta do it.
It doesn't know.
But would you do? So you would do it? Like you would do it?
I'm sure they discussed with their family beforehand. That, you know what, if I have to pull, I know I would have talked. I'm sorry guys, if for them to pull off this move, he won the veto. He's not taking himself off the block. They're sending him home. They gotta swear on the family.
Well, and I think I can understand it being different if you're swearing on your family and you're telling the truth, or you're swearing on your family or you're lying. And my answer to that is, I swear on Nicole that I would never swear on anyone.
You always swear on me. I just found this out. It's horrible. No,
It's my
the way
favorite
I see
thing.
it, I don't see Tera swearing on her kids didn't bother me because she said, I swear on my kids I will put Brayden up. And that's the truth. She didn't then say, and then, but like, she didn't give the rest of the story. She put a period at the end of that. It was, I would put Brayden up. And that I believe, because I did swear when I was in the house, but it was always truthful statements. I swear that I didn't win the power. I like that. And I was telling the truth. To swear and then lie, which I believe that's what Kiefer did, because Kiefer's whole thing was like, I swear I'm loyal. We're Final Four forever. I would never go against you. That, for me, not game-wise, because I can applaud it game-wise. For me personally, I'm just like, oh, bad karma. Oh, no.
So
And would you work with him? Oh, go ahead, Vanessa.
I do want to know. So, if Nicole, if you were in the Big Brother house, okay,
Yes.
you're getting down to the finals, you're trying to convince somebody of a lie, and they say to you, okay, all I need to hear is you swear on your family, and I'm convinced. You're saying you would crack at that point? You would would you? You know, are you giving up the lie at that point?
Can I answer for you? Because I know what you would do.
Go ahead. Let's see.
Nicole would deflect. She would say, I will not swear on my family. You've never heard me swear on my family in this game. Like, blah, blah. I can tell you, I promise you, I won't do it.
That's exactly what I would do. I would say, I've played this whole game not swearing on my family. That is not my nature. If I promise I'm not going to do something, I won't do it. I promise I wouldn't swear on my family, and therefore I'm not. Just like I'm promising you right now that I'm telling the truth, and I follow through. And that's how I would pivot it.
And honestly, to that point, I think if the person said to Nicole, I need to hear you say the words, I swear on my family or you're going home.
I would say 7.
I don't believe that. I think you would say, okay, I swear on my family.
No, I would pull the card of, you know me. My mother had cancer. I would never swear on a family member because I know what, like, I would just ride that pony home of like, don't you dare ask me to say this. Like, I would get livid.
And then cry, right? That's a good one. I like that.
Like, look at me, like when we made a deal with Mickey and Holly, they were like, shake our hand that we're a Final Four. And I knew in my head that wasn't my ideal Final Four. So I was like, I'm just emotional right now. I'll shake your hand later because I couldn't do it.
Oh my God.
Oops.
Oh God. All right, so okay, so we know where we stand on that, and everybody knows my opinion. I think words are words, and it's a game of lying. And to say there's more value on the sentence "I swear" versus any other sentence in a game about lying means nothing to me.
I mean, maybe you could
But
alter it. Be like, I do it. You know, or like,
sure,
achoo. Yeah. Like,
sure.
alter it so they don't hear the word.
Yes. Okay, so now the other thing that people are saying that they want, you to weigh in on, Vanessa, is Beth. Obviously, not a fan favorite. We are, or fans are not liking that. She's willing to cut Jed, that she's betraying him, that she makes these moves, that she won't work with Tera. And then the counter argument to that is, well, same thing for Kiefer. So why don't, and I mean, granted, people don't really love Kiefer either, but it's not that same level of hatred. Like, you can look on social media and see people respecting Kiefer's game, and everything is just anti-Beth, she's the worst, horrible. So is this, again, women are just not allowed to make moves or be the villain in Big Brother? Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, that is such. It lives on in the Big Brother house for some reason. It does. This thought that the women have to be these maternal figures in there. It's not fair in a game of lies and manipulation and deception. It's not fair to put that on women that they can't do it too. Like, people are going to cheer on Jed for getting out Beth maybe, but they're not going to cheer on Beth for getting out Jed.
Yep.
Exactly.
Why? I think that would be awesome. Like, that's just where I stand, but I hear you. It's tough. It is.
And I will admit, I have to check myself on it too, because there are times like I just watch Beth and I'm just like, oh my God, I hate that you're doing this. Like, that's such a horrible thing. But, and I will say that, but I am also just as vocal about Kiefer, because to me they're interchangeable in all the dynamic that involves Beth, Jed, Ty, and Kiefer. They're in the same mix to me, doing the same things. So I'm like, yeah, I just don't, and not them as people, but those game moves. Like, I just don't, I love it for the drama of it, but I also feel like I hope you win, because I don't see either of the two of you ever getting to work with someone if you get brought back. Who would trust Beth in a return in another season to work with her? Who would trust Kiefer at this point? You would always be wondering, are they lying to me? They're swearing on people don't matter. So, like, you better win this go round, because I don't see you getting to go far if you come back.
Yeah.
These types
yeah.
of games are one-hit wonders. They're doing it now or they're never doing it, because everybody's going to know what you're like now after this. This was your shot.
Yeah. Eric, like, on the live feeds, and I always pinpoint that one time when Josh was talking to Kiefer and he walked out of the room on him, and I was like, what the hell? But does Kiefer, when people leave the room, does Kiefer say something about that person, like, oh, I don't like that person, or that
It's not personal anymore. It's no. The
okay.
personal attack, and you didn't watch the live feeds, Vanessa, so you wouldn't know this, but a lot of the beginning of the season was a lot of personal kind of shunning and attacks on people like Julie, Josh, even Kyle, which was not great. So no, it's all about game now. All of their conversations are about game now. It's just about who gives us the best chance to win. Are we leaving this person who wins comps? It's all that. It's not really like, oh, did you see what he wore? That's disgusting. Oh, keep me away from him. Don't leave me in a room alone with him. There's none of that anymore that I see when I watch the live feeds.
I think in the edit, I think that's what's hurting Beth more than it's hurting Kiefer. I think in the edit, Kiefer is the mullet man. Kiefer's doing so well, but Beth, all her moments are like when people leave the room, I can't stand her. She bothers me. Braden's annoying. This person's annoying. So I think that edit is not helping where, yes, they both have their moments social game wise, but I think Kiefer's edited nicer, whereas those moments of Beth they're showing, and it's annoying people to see her being more aggressive about people's like I think it's more of a personal attack because what was it? Tera walked out of the room and Beth was like, "Oh, I can't stand her." I think those little moments are what made people say, "Oh, bitchy." But I'll agree. I say I do the exact same thing where I go either check myself because how come Kiefer talking to himself and be like, "You're the goat. You're the goat." How come that? I'm like, "Yeah, Kiefer." But when Beth does it, I'm like, "Oh, you're not that great." And that is very much a bias. That is very much so. That's something that I have to check myself on. Where I'm like, no, she has a right to be confident too.
Right. Or we saw it with Ty. Why did everybody cheer on and was so excited tonight with Ty? And when it happened on the live feeds, we all tweeted it, Ty being like, I can't wait to send her home when she walked away from him in the
Yeah,
bathroom. If then you just gave an example of Beth doing it, and we're all like, death to
mm,
Beth. So
it's
yeah.
it's very true. It's a it's
True.
a
It's like in my mind
inconsistency.
It is. I think the real takeaway here is if you are, a female player in this game going forward, in my opinion, you just have to smile more, I think, when you're saying things because then the fans will get confused and maybe not be mad at you. Like if
No,
Beth was like,
I think
I hate her. Believe
ew.
me, I don't know. I was trying to make that a joke and then realized I just said ladies smile more and I got cringy with it. But you get my point. Like figure out a way to, I don't
Um,
know, try and placate people who feel that way. I don't know what you can do.
I think
I
it's the
don't know how you
opposite.
change people's
I
minds.
think more conviction, like I don't really like her, comes across better than I don't like her. I think when the smile comes out, that's when people go, oh, I get annoyed. But this is my last statement on this. But what's interesting, I feel, guys over time in Big Brother, way back when early seasons, it's like, oh my God, he's a savage. Look at him. And nowadays, it has gotten a little bit where we do judge them like, oh, that guy's a douche. But women, what's interesting is early Big Brother, people would say, she's a boss. Look at her telling people off. Look at her, winning the veto. Look at her putting a guy up. She's a boss. She's a queen. And like nowadays, I don't know when that shift occurred, but the shift has been made into bitch. And I'll just come out and say the word. I feel like early Big Brother, it was more like, yes, oh my God, she's doing a great job. And nowadays it's more like, oh, she's bitchy. The power got to her head. So I don't know. I feel like a shift happened there where we need to get back to early Big Brother, where it's like, yeah, she's an independent woman doing a great job. And I think we do pick on Beth too much because she is playing the game. She got this far. She played it well. She is manipulating people. So, I think she deserves more applause than she's getting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you guys might be able to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I had a friend the other day tell me, in terms of BBUS history, a woman has only won over a man in the final two once. Is
Yep.
it right? Is that
Only
right?
once.
Okay,
Yep.
Yep.
like that's crazy.
It's
Like,
That
very
is
scary.
crazy.
Very
But
scary.
I also will say, with all respect and love in my heart for this show, and obviously everyone that puts it on, a little bit of it is the editing as well. That episode tonight started with Beth's a liar, Beth looks at it, Beth, like that whole intro was like Beth's the worst intro. It wasn't really about her game. But then again, it's a show that's happening in real time and it's Big Brother. They cater to the social media. That's the temperature of social media is Beth's the worst. So we're going to get a Beth's the worst intro.
And a quick side note, shout out to Demir Betza on YouTube in the chat. We also forgot Casey, so twice. Casey beat Tyler. I don't know why I always assume Tyler. But yes, thank you to Demir. So twice it's happened. Nicole against Paul, Casey against Tyler. But even then, 22 seasons. I don't know when there was ever, how many times there was a woman next to a man. But yeah, we've only really seen it twice, which is concerning.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And because on Celebrity, Tamar won against a woman. Why can I not remember?
Yeah, I don't remember who Tamar was against. I'm sure chat will tell us who Tamar was against. But yes. Willa who? Ricky. No, it was a guy. It was a guy.
No,
was
Ricky
it? The football player.
Yeah,
that's who she was against.
So Tamar was another one that won against a man. So we have 3. Okay, we're starting to bulk it up a little bit. Now
all right, we lied. Women have it easy in this game. Forget it. I take it all back. Death to Beth. No. Oh my god. Ha ha! Can't believe I just said that on another season.
Oh my god, Eric. Wait, no, and Marissa won against Ross. Courtney. Oh my god. So we have both celebrity seasons. The woman won against the man. We have 4 guys.
All right. Well, but let's not consider celebrity seasons real seasons, though. I mean, give me a break. That's like a popularity contest where they get everything they want, and okay.
Wait, what'd you say, Vanessa?
We are changing the stats right now. Like,
we are.
This is a big deal. We're trying to change it here.
We wanted women to be in power, and they are. I feel much like Beth in Big Brother. We should just take credit for that. It was because of us. Beth loves to take credit for everyone's move. Loves that. That's it's Beth.
I know. She is a bit delusional. I will say she's a bit like, whenever she was going up to Tyshawn and Brayden and saying that you guys should volunteer to go up, it's a bit like insulting to their intelligence. Like, do you really think that they're falling for this? Like, these people are not stupid, girl. Like,
well, Ty,
you go.
That's what changed Ty's mind on the live feeds and in a lot of the conversations that he has with Kiefer or Tera or Brayden. That was the moment where he went, oh, I have to be done with both of them. Like, I'm expendable now, and we're not even at 3. I need to make a move against them because they're making plans. They're playing with my game now. So that was, I think if Beth looks back, that moment is probably the moment that changed the game for her and Jedson, was her saying that to Ty.
And that's the thing, Jed being, his ego is what hurt him this week. And Beth, her confidence is what's hurting her. I think she's so confident that she's so close to the end, she can win it, that she's getting blinded and starting to get a little sloppy. And just a side note, I shouldn't have to say this. I don't think we're going to have to say this, but I'll say it here anyway. We are, of course, talking about Beth in the game. Beth is a game player. Beth, BBCAN9. Her as a person outside of the house, I am sure, is very, very different. We're obviously going to have her on the show. We're obviously going to talk to her. And we are assessing a character on a show. It's a game. We're all going to get very, very passionate. Nothing at all against Beth, the human being in real life.
Oh, sure. And I have to say, I think this show is very pro Beth. I think you could go tune into any other Big Brother show and no one's giving Beth any benefits of any doubts.
That's sad.
Yeah. You just always have to have the people that you're going for and the people you're not going for in the show. And she just, for a lot of people, I can see why she's the person to kind of just not go for it. But it's good too. You got to have those people too.
It's true.
Courtney over on Twitch actually brings up a good point too. She said Jed using that veto on Beth lets Ty know where he stands with him. He's willing to jeopardize his game for her. And the flip side of that is they were asking him to jeopardize his game for them. by going on the block for noms. So you're right. I think all of those things really sealed their fate in this game.
Yeah. There was no, hey, I'm not going to use the veto, so you have no chance of going up, Ty. I don't want there to be any chance in any which way, so I'm not going to use it. It was, I'm saving Beth. And you never know. Tera could have, broken her deal and put up Ty. So it is very much a, I chose her over you in any regard.
Yeah, 100%. So are we excited? I know we're over on time, but are we excited about this fake double eviction tomorrow? Are you excited, Vanessa?
If it was when Victoria and Rohan went out, like I said, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not as excited about it as I want to be, just because I think, I do predict Jedson's gone, and I do predict him winning. Usually it's, in BBCAN history, this is usually some kind of, I don't want to say, I don't know, but I am excited. It will be very entertaining no matter what. When that comes back in, that's always great.
See, I think so too. And then somebody on Twitter brought up a really good point.
What?
And, well, they said it's Big Brother Canada. They love cliffhangers. What if we don't find out right away? We're all like, oh my God, we're definitely going to find out. What if we don't? What if we end up having to wait to find out the answer?
Would they do that? Would they leave like the feeds off for like a
Yes,
weekend?
they always do that.
Oh my
So
God!
why are we all just like, oh, we're so excited to watch the fallout? Maybe we won't get to watch the fallout, like every other time we don't.
Could be.
I know. Big Brother Canada is so bad for that. They even left us on a cliffhanger for a veto this season, and I was like, wait, what? Even a veto?
I'm gonna revolt. Here I go again. I'm gonna call production. I always threaten to call production, even though I have no phone call to call. But I'm gonna call production and be like, I need to know right now because I promised my family that it was gonna happen tonight. Damn, that would suck.
It would. That would not be great. Well,
But, Final question for Vanessa. Okay, who do you think will be the final two? Who do you want to be the final two?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I can say right now who I would love to see as a final two, just because I'd love to see them two at the end, would be Kiefer and Beth. I'd just love to see who would win two. I'm just going to say it. I know maybe not popular opinion. I don't care. Beth and Kiefer. Who do I think, though? I don't think either of them would ever take the other, so I don't think that that's a realistic final two. But, oh my goodness. I think Ty's making it to the final two. I think he's going to just completely blow up here. I think he's going to just, boom. So I think he's going to make it to the final two. And who he might take, I feel like no one's looking at Brayden. And I feel like Brayden is like this ideal final two right now.
Okay.
So whether he, I just do think he might not drag him or anything. Just, I think Brayden would be safe for a long time. And I think Brayden might even find himself in the final two.
I today came to the conclusion, I may have actually said this last episode, but I kind of want to see a Ty and Tera final two. I just love the little friendship that was kind of struck up this week, and them two checking in on each other and establishing this plan. I was like, oh, I like this. I don't know, just the dynamic. And I was like, that'd be a cute final two. Eric?
The final two that I would like is Ty and Brayden.
Yep. So we all agree Ty. Well, actually, no, you said Beth and Keith, which I think Keith would take it against Beth, I'd imagine, because of jury.
And by the way, that has nothing to do with game. It has to do with game on Ty's end. Again, I say nobody. I think we all agree it's they deserve to win thing. Like anyone that won deserved it. Right. So then that being said, I do feel Kiefer is very deserving. And if I was going to say, who do I want in the final three that I think did the most this season and probably should win, I should be saying Kiefer. But no, I want Brayden. He makes me laugh. I find him funny. And I hope him and Ty actually date after the
Yes.
season, which if you don't watch the live feeds, Vanessa, there is tons of Ty and Brayden petting, canoodling, leg rubbing, massaging, sleeping in the same bed together. There's a lot of that that hasn't even made the edit for whatever reason.
I love them.
That is a shame.
Right? It should be
Mhm.
in the edit.
Didn't you see on tonight's episode when like Brayden is like laying on Ty and was like, tacos? We should get taco. And I'm like, no one's noticing that they're like all over each other right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
My
It is interesting. It is
my final
interesting.
statement about this episode is for those that maybe know of my dad and his like personality. You know, he's very like, I don't know, like more abrasive than most. And at the end of the episode, my dad does not watch live feeds. Completely, my dad could not believe that Jed went through with this plan and took Beth down, that he fell for it, and that his ego got in the way. And my dad was jaw on the ground, shocked. And then Brayden said, well, he fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And my dad let out a laugh that I like, I don't know where it came from. We were all hysterically laughing, but Brayden is hysterical. He has the best delivery ever. And this episode, I don't know what it was, but to quote my dad, jaw on the ground laughing because I don't know how it unfolded the way it did, but it did. And I can't wait for tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, Brayden is a trooper in this game. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, whenever he's told he has to go up on the block as part of this move, he's just like, okay, let's go, let's do it, and he's doing his part. So I have to definitely give him credit there.
Absolutely.
Yes, and again, they obviously they can't fit everything into the show. The reason he so willingly went along with that is he was in the plan the whole time. He knew every step of the way. We're going to tell this to Beth. We're going to tell this to Jed. We're doing this. We're doing that. He knew that the only way they were going for it is if he was on the block. So Tara was like, you know, you're going to have to go. Are you okay with that? And he was like, yeah, I trust you guys. He's like, don't get me wrong. They've lied to us before. So it's really going to suck if I go. He's like, but really at the end of the day, we have nowhere else to go. So I understand. I just take this risk. What other choice do we have?
This is the move.
Yep.
This is the move. Yeah. It is the move.
And not Jed's. Jed thinks it's his move.
Oh, they all want to take credit for it.
Today is the move, but it wasn't that move, Jed. It wasn't that move, Beth. But everybody else, it was the move.
Currently, Beth is taking credit for it. Jed is taking credit for it. Tera is half taking credit for it, but Kiefer, and this speaks to the thing that I don't really like about Kiefer. Kiefer this morning literally said to Tera, they were alone talking to each other. He literally said, I would really appreciate if in your goodbye message to Jed, you let him know it was my idea, this whole thing. Like, he literally said that to Tara. Like, he has no problem just being like, I want it known this was my idea, so I'd appreciate if that was in your goodbye message to him. And I was just like,
oh my God.
yeah.
No,
It's
honey,
not it,
no.
Kiefer. It's not it.
I mean, are you trying to lose Tara's jury vote?
Right?
What? You're just trying to look, I don't know.
Well, again, it's social game. He should say, Tara, like, I don't know what you're doing, but my goodbye message, I'm going to tell him that me and you did this plan. At least you can ensure that you're getting half the credit, because if you tell her you're referencing her, maybe she'll reference you, and at least you get half the credit from her. But saying, like, reference me, that's like a slap across the face, like, oh, it wasn't you. But as if anything, if I wanted the person to say it, I would say, let's like split it, like, oh, I'm going to reference you. Are you going to, that kind of thing. But
yeah, I mean, and again, I don't remember if this made the edit last week. I think it did not. Not even a week ago, Kiefer was talking to Tera like this about Tina's eviction. He was literally writing Tera off. Like in the conversation, he was like, "You'll be in jury, you'll vote for me. Tina will be there, she'll vote for me." And Tera literally got up, walked away from him pissed off, and was like, "You don't know that you're getting to
Yeah.
final two. You don't know that you have my vote, and I'm
I don't know if
still in
Tara
this
won't be sitting
game."
next to you. Yeah.
Right. She was pissed off at him. It hasn't even been a week. And he's like bringing it back up again. But you
Mm.
gotta hand it to people like Kiefer. He knows this week is done. He knew after that POV ceremony, this week is over. I now need to start focusing on next week. I need to
Yeah.
make sure that I'm set up well for next week. Is that distancing from Tera? Is that building a better bond with Brit? Like, that's a smart game player.
His overconfidence, I don't even want to say overconfidence, his cockiness might be
Yeah.
his one downfall in this game. Because if he does get to the end and he's been talking about, oh, I am going to win this game, I'm going to make it to the end, blah, 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 are they going to want to give it to him? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Are they going to want to give it to him? So that he's got to stop saying that kind of stuff.
And that's why I think Ty's in a better spot. Braden's in a better,
Yeah.
especially Ty. I think Ty, like I started this episode saying it and I'll end it saying it. Ty, like, just like slowly maneuvered, good social game, made everybody like him. And now he's coming out of the woodwork, but not in an arrogant way, not with his ego first. And that's why he's in a better spot than a Kiefer who, like you said, is going to potentially rub people the wrong way.
Well, I will say you guys let us know when you're watching this back what you think in the comments below. What do you think about Beth? What do you think about Jed? Who do you think is going to go? Let us know in the comments below this video wherever you guys are watching it. And of course, do not forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Share the show now that it is over if you think somebody would like it. And don't forget to check out our website, hellofriendspod.com, for all of our social medias. Vanessa, where can people find you on social media?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm basically only on Instagram.
Okay.
So Instagram is Vanessa Clemens, but the S is a Z because I'm cool like that.
Okay, we will put
Vanessa
the link.
Clements.
Yeah. You guys.
Clemens.
That's
Yes.
the best place to find me.
Okay. Now, oh, but you watched the episodes. You need to get on Twitter. You would like it over on the Twitter.
Oh, I hear
I
Twitter.
tagged you on the Twitter. You have a Twitter page.
Only my mom. Listen, I had to make Twitter for being on Big Brother, and my mom runs it, and my mom still enjoys it. So I let her. If she's doing anything on there, it's not me. It's my mom.
Oh my gosh, I'm so gonna DM your mom.
Oh, I'm not on Twitter. I'm not a Twitter person.
All right. So, but we will put the link for your Twitter as well below this video in the show notes in case people want to chat with your mom.
My mom would appreciate that.
Nicole, final thoughts?
Oh man, final thoughts. I mean, this is like related to Big Brother, but not Vanessa. You have been, I don't know, one of the most amazing people that, because I haven't watched Big Brother Canada, so I only know last season, this one, but one of the most amazing people from Big Brother Canada. You're so personable. You're always answering me when I have like questions or topics. You've helped us, like I said at the beginning of this, with like a charity event that we did, and that speaks volumes about someone as a human being. So we adore you. We love you. You're always welcome. And this was an absolute blast. I love chatting with you. And I don't know, here's to the future. Here's to seeing you again on Big Brother. I'd love to see it. And you're great.
Guys, I love chatting Big Brother. This has been so awesome. I watched this a lot. It was kind of a dream come true coming on here. Not gonna lie, this was freaking great. I'm
doing this again.
I'm loving it. Thank you.
For both of us, she's happy to be with both of us, Eric. Stop.
Oh, can we say? Can we say that how Vanessa was like, I'm so excited to get to meet you, Nicole. Like when we first connected on Skype, and I was like, oh, I'm a person too, Vanessa.
Oh,
I'm right
yeah, but
here. I'm on the other side of your window.
Look, we made it through almost the whole thing without me like messing up. So don't call me out on it now.
Well, I loved having you here. The fans loved having
yes.
you here. And yes, you need to come back again, Vanessa, so we can have more fun talking Big Brother Canada again in the future.
Also, your mom is in Facebook chat. Hello from Cindy Clements.
Great job running the Twitter. It's all getting exposed at the end of this show.
Oh, it could have been more perfect. Hi, Mom.
Yay! We'll see you guys all tomorrow night, immediately following the double eviction, with Ryan Ballantyne from Big Brother Canada 6. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.
Guys. Bye.